Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Velenie from Narra Consulting, and we have
Chris from Breadfruit Consulting. Good afternoon.
How's your day, Chris?
Beautiful and warm and sunny.
Yeah, it's quite too hot. It's quite very hot, and the town is very busy today.
The town is busy, yes, indeed.
So a very long queue at the National Bank and UNELCO, and it seems like everything is slowly coming back to normal, right?
Getting ready for something.
Getting ready. Exactly. So thank you everyone for watching. Today is another episode of Ask the Coach, and we are live through Espresso page. This is, I think, the 6th episode of Ask the Coach, and we've been talking about quite a number of things in our last episode, and we've gone through change in our last episode, right? And today we're still going to talk about change, but in a more looking forward to the borders opening change, and that's what we'll be talking about today, right, Chris?
Yeah. I think the big thing since we last talked was the announcement about the borders opening on the 1st of July. And lots of information about getting ready and getting prepared. And from a business point of view, it's really about what people need to be thinking about to get themselves ready. And you remember when we talked about change, we talked about this word proactive?
Yes.
And that seems to me to be really key now, yeah?
Yes. Like we said in our previous conversations, change is something that some people will have a negative energy towards it, and people who have the positive energy towards it are the ones that are proactive, right? They look for opportunities and they look for ways that, they can turn that energy to benefit themselves.
Sure. I mean, change happens to all of us all the time, isn't it? Yeah. And I think we have a choice about how we respond to it. Yeah? I mean, we can, obviously not all change is welcome. And, some change comes about through, COVID hasn't been welcomed by anybody, but it's caused a lot of change, yeah? And I do think it's about our mental attitudes. And I think now that the borders are ready to open, it's been over 2 years. And that must have an effect on people, yeah? In terms of our emotions, our feelings about all of this. And you've only got to look at social media to see the way some people respond to all that, yes?
Yes.
Some people are quite positive, aren't they? And there are lots of examples around Port Vila of businesses that have really done well to adapt. But there are also examples of people who just seem to blame others.
Yes. And I see now that we're in this situation, there's these SOPs that businesses have to comply and have some certain, rules. You have to have your SOP in place, and it has to be approved before it's open. And it's like, to me, I would say that this is something that people will still use it as an excuse, right? Because when we in local context, when we do business, we sometimes we bypass some procedures, right? We only do some things, and we take these procedures as if we go through these procedures very well, it's going to make us grow, right? Because sometimes we sit back and then we watch others do businesses, and then sometimes, but you may say it's only for expat to do these procedures, but in business there's procedures to our business, and we all have to have procedures in our business in order for it to continue, right?
We do.
It's one of the things that is, I would say, it needs to be worked more on for us Nivans, because if we sit back and we see someone else, doing their business very well, just because they're adhering to some procedures and they're, progressing, but if we don't do it, then you get shut down if your business is not compliant to some of the procedures that are in place. So it's a weakness. I see it as a weakness for us to, if we really wanna be business people, we have to have these procedures in place. Or it's not just for this COVID, but the whole general, operating a business.
I think we do, and it's interesting, isn't it? Yeah, I mean, I think yes, there is a lot of there seems to be concern that these SOPs is almost like someone forcing us to do something. Yeah? But every time we go to the bank, every time we go to MPF, every time we go into a shop, we're subject to their procedures. We can't just walk in and do what we like, do we? We have to go and queue up, we pay. These are procedures. That's all they are. They're policies, they're processes that make it possible to do business. And now, okay, COVID has meant that we've got to look at some particular ones, around safety and so on. But actually, processes or procedures are not new to business. I mean, a shop has an opening time, it has a closing time.
Exactly.
All products have a price. Businesses have a payment process of some description, whether it's a till or a box or whatever. These are procedures. And I think sometimes there's almost a feeling that, we're being asked to do these things as if it's a big burden. But really, it's about making life run smoothly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
I think that's just, we have to try and get our heads around that. And I think for me, part of getting ready for the borders opening is about saying to ourselves, well, have we got the right processes in place? Are we actually ready for customers to come in? Is our place, wherever we operate from, is it nice and clean and tidy? Or have we sat for the last 2 years with the same rubbish in the corner?
Exactly.
And when we open, when the borders open, we'll still have the same rubbish there that we had when COVID came in the first place. Shouldn't be difficult to get ourselves organized and say, right, 1st of July, a new set of opportunities coming along. Let's make the most of them. Do you agree?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's now 8 weeks away. It's now 8 weeks away from the borders opening.
Yep.
And some of the businesses that have, we talked about having a negative energy towards the changes that have happened in the last 2 years. Now that we're going back to, we're in the process of getting the borders open and everything, we're looking at everything coming back to normal. There's usually stuff like, the phone numbers of some businesses might have, changed during the last 2 years. Phone numbers might have changed, or there could be a change in ownership of the business and stuff like that. So it's something that it's in preparation towards the borders opening. I'll talk about what I experienced.
Yeah.
I've talked about it, and I think it's a good time to talk about it right now, as now the borders are opening and getting ourselves prepared. So I had 2 weeks ago, I was cleaning my backyard, and I wanted to contact the rubbish collection. And then I had 5 contacts. I went online and looked for the contacts. I had 5 contacts. I called all the contacts, only 1 of them answered. The other 4, no one answered. The phone was dead. And one of them, the phone rang and rang out, nobody answered. And then I managed to get the last one. And at that point in time, I realized that probably some of these people have, changed their contacts, or the business ownership has changed, or something must have changed along the way, or maybe it's also something to do with being proactive. Like I mentioned, we have to be hungry for business.
We do. And if you're not hungry for business, somebody else is going to come and take that business.
Yes. It's just that, we have to be hungry for business. If not, somebody else will take it.
Did you get your rubbish collected?
Yes, I did get my rubbish collected on the same day. And it's not just the rubbish collection. I had it also with a brick company. I wanted bricks to fix my fence. I had called 3, no one answered. So I had to look around and then find a right person to call, and then I eventually called someone. But when we go online, we expect to see. There's a lot of businesses doing their promotion online, and they're going on Facebook and all. It's just for you to go and change the numbers, or more practically, it's just for you to come out and be proactive, answer your calls, and get your business.
Absolutely. Because customers have a choice, don't they? Yeah.
Exactly.
And it can go anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think, from a coaching point of view, and I think we would say that the more vibrant the small business economy can be here in Port Vila on the 1st of July, the better it's going to be for everybody, isn't it? Yeah? Because people will feel good. There may not be very many visitors on that day. There probably won't be many, but it will start. Yeah? And it will make people feel a lot more positive.
True.
I think there's a few things that people could do to get ready. Should we chat a little bit about that?
Yes.
As well as being proactive. Proactive is a state of mind, isn't it, really? Yeah. I think what I would go for is, first of all, the place that we're working from. I mentioned earlier on. Most businesses operate out of some sort of physical space, or even if they're operating online, is everything all tidy and up to date and current? And we actually put in a bit of effort in to making the place look good. Are we thinking about the people? I've heard a lot of businesses complain at the moment, and they're saying when we open, we're not going to have enough people. And that might be true. A lot of people have gone overseas. But again, do we sit there and be reactive to that and complain about it? It's not going to do us any good. Or do we take a proactive view and say, well, okay, we've lost some good people, but who have we got around us? Yeah. Maybe now's the time for businesses to look at collaborating with each other.
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe they've actually got to think about how they can support each other, because perhaps there aren't enough people. But should that actually stop us looking to find the best way of making this work? You agree? I
agree. You were just mentioning about not enough people working. I just saw a post on Facebook a while ago. It's about everyone rushing off to RSC and SWB.
Yeah.
Working at SWB, like going for seasonal work, and it's quite it's another challenge, right? And people are now looking at the teenagers, the ones that they call them chos, those youngsters hanging around, and we might be, I don't know, we might be having some negative thoughts towards these people, but if we develop them, they could be the next people taking jobs here and replacing the ones that have gone to RSC and SWB.
Absolutely.
So it's all about changing the mindset. And
it is, but it's also about the way communities and societies change, isn't it?
Yeah.
the opportunity to go overseas may not be welcomed by some, but it's an opportunity that is welcomed by a lot of people, isn't it? And we know that a lot of people go, they come back, they bring money back, they bring skills back, they build businesses. But this is a game change. Yeah? And from a coaching perspective, I guess we're saying really the fundamental to all this is how we are approaching this change. You know, if we think that life is never going to change and we want everything to be as it used to be, not going to work, is it?
True.
You know?
True. It's interesting because we just had a conversation with one of the managers of the hotel. Was it the day before? It was yesterday, and he was talking about change as in the tourism sector. He was talking about change as from their perspective. They see it as a way of cutting back their staff, but I would say the human resource is less, but they multitask the current stuff that they have. So it's not a problem for them.
Yeah.
They only, they multitask everybody so that.
But they took a proactive attitude from the
Exactly.
beginning.
Right.
That was the issue.
Right.
Yeah. So they changed their products.
Yeah.
They've got a lot more local people using the products. Now we know that not every business has taken that
True.
attitude, and we also know that for some, particularly some of the very small ones, it's quite hard. Yeah. Which I guess is where people like us come in a way. Yeah. And it's not about telling people what to do, but it is about helping.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
And giving people a bit of a support as they move forward. Keep going.
Interesting. Great. So we're talking about change, right? And yes, we've touched on contact details. If you have your contact details, just if you have changed your contact details, change it in your Facebook page. Or if you're still in your negative energy in terms of your business, get out from there. Be proactive. Be hungry for business. And start getting your sales. It's not going to come to you. You can look for the sales. And yes, that's something that I want to put out there from the experience that I had last 2 weeks.
And people have got to look at the financial side, haven't they? Yeah, maybe prices have got to be rethought.
Definitely, yes.
And the market might be different. It will be different.
It will be different because everything has changed since the last 2 years, or just a couple of months, when we have this price increase in fuel and everything else. It's going to affect everything, so it's good to do that.
So now is the time to be looking at the products that the products and services. Maybe it's possible to reduce those a little bit. Yeah. I think the other P, I like the letter P. The other P I've got is getting the passion back. Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, it's been quite a long time, isn't it, where maybe life hasn't been quite as exciting as it could have been for some. So getting that back is going to be quite important, I think. Working with your friends, getting support from coaches and so on, just so that everyone's ready to be not just open for business physically. It's not just about the planes being allowed to land. It's about being open for business mentally. I think that's the key, isn't it? We can have the door of the business open, but our minds are still shut.
True. Talking about that, we have an open day for coaching on the 31st, right?
We do.
Do you want to talk about that a little?
Not really. Yes, all right, I will, yes. So I think the idea of the open day is to invite anybody who's running a business at the moment, who feels that they need a little bit of support and encouragement to get going again. Yeah. that's the point of the open day. So there'll be coaches there with financial background or marketing or technology, but really it's about encouraging people to get some excitement now. Yeah. It's been a long time. It's a long time to try and keep that going. So 31st of May, it's going to be up at Lolham House, V-Lab, up on the top floor. People can come in anytime during the day, and there'll be someone there to talk to. If you want to phone up beforehand, that's fine. But really, it's just, and it's free. It's free, but I think what we recognize, isn't it, is that people do need people to talk to. Yeah, they do. There's lots of talk about the new normal and all this stuff, and in lots of ways, a little bit scary because we don't know what that is. So the idea of the event on the 31st of May is for anybody who's running a business, and it doesn't matter whether it's informal or formal. Yeah, you might be a sole trader. If you feel that you'd like to come and just talk through your business to someone in a confidential way, just turn up. And we run that all day from 8:30 to 5:30. It's a good idea?
Yes, it is a very good idea. Thank you. So those of you who are watching, there's going to be an open day coaching session for the whole day on the 31st of May. It's a good opportunity for you to come around and just come around. Feel free to come around and have some coaching sessions at that time. So thank you.
Say a little bit about the coaching you can do.
Oh, yes.
Because you do a lot of stuff around financial coaching, yeah?
Yes, I do the stuff around the financial coaching. And if you're doing your business and you don't have your financial books in order, or you don't have, you still don't have a system to record your financials, you can come around and we can also have a talk on that on the 31st of May.
Or they can contact you at any other time.
Sure, yes. I have my contact. You can contact me anytime.
Sure.
Chris.
And from Breadfruit Consulting's point of view, obviously our focus is more on helping people be proactive. That's what I'm got some passion for, and really helping people get up and open for business in their mind. And if we can help people do that, I think that will be a really exciting thing. And the 31st is just one event, but people can contact us anytime.
Yeah.
Because we all need help. That's the other issue here. Yeah. Yes. Everyone, none of us have all the answers. None of us got anything like all the answers. But we can help each other. Then that has to be good for the country as well as for business.
Thank you, Chris. I would encourage people to come on the 31st because that's when you will know what coaching is, right? And then if you want more, you can always contact us. So thank you everyone for watching. This is myself, Velenie, and Chris in Ask the Coach. And this session will be live again on Thursday next week.
When we'll be 7 weeks to go.
Yes, counting down. Don't forget, it's 8 weeks now, and we'll be counting down as we go along. Thank you, everyone, and we hope you enjoy the show. If you have any questions, feedbacks, or comments, please put them down on the comment section below.
Yeah, really important.
Thanks,
everybody. Take care. Stay safe.